What's up, everybody? Jed Johnson here from dieselcrew.com. Of course, you know, they call me Napalm. And this is day number 16 in the 31 days of Q&A. Hey, I just put together a playlist. I forgot to do that. So if you've missed any of the videos, you can go into the description box and you can click on the playlist and it'll take you to a page where it's got all the videos. So if you see something there that you, what the heck is that all about? You probably missed that video. So this will help you out big time. Also want to let you know that I noticed like almost half of the videos that I've covered this month have been on Inch Dumbbell. It's really clear that the Inch Dumbbell is very, very popular right now. Week in and week out, I get a notification from YouTube talking about what the search terms are that bring people to my channel. And every single week, at least one of those three, and sometimes all three, have something to do with the Inch Dumbbell. So the Inch is really popular. I know a lot of people are looking for information on that. So I'm going to make it even easier for you to train to lift the Inch Dumbbell. This weekend, I've got a sale going on both of my Inch product. Well, all three. It depends on how you look at it. So I sell May the Inch Get Lifted. It's a workout that I released back during COVID, and it is $10 off. I also sell How to Lift the Inch in DVD form and How to Lift the Inch in just streamable video form. Both of those are $10 off. So also in the description box, you'll see links for those. And that's all through my store. So when you make a purchase, generally within 10 minutes, I'll send you the access product. Now, if I'm lifting, if I'm driving, I don't like monkeying around when I'm driving. If I'm eating, if I'm sleeping, spending time with my daughter, something like that, then it might take me a little bit longer. Naturally, if it's the middle of the night and you live in another country, I might not get it to you right away because I'm out cold. But I get them out to you as soon as I see the purchase receipt. In fact, just before I started shooting this video, someone picked up May the Inch Get Lifted. So I'm really, really good about getting things back to you as soon as possible. Today's question comes from DEC86D. It says, hey Napalm, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's curious about your journey. You have achieved a lot in the world of grip sport. What was your grip like when you first started in the beginning? What were your goals back then? Well, let's start with each question as we go. So what was your grip like when you first started in the beginning? In the beginning, I think my grip was pretty good. I think I saw it as something like anytime that first off, I found out about grip as a sport back in like 2002, 2003. But we got a gripper in like 2001, okay? So I knew that they made grippers at least in 2001. So immediately when I found out there was a certification for the 3, that was something that I wanted to do. And I think my grip was better than most people just because when we would get the stuff out at the gym that we trained at, nobody could do what I could do. I found out that it was a sport in 2003, and I signed up for the first contest I learned about, Battle for Grip Supremacy, which took place in September of 2003 in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. It was put on by Rick Walker. That's really who I found out about, like, all the grip feats and training to really build your hands to a crazy level was Rick Walker. So like, you know, the pinching feats, you know, we made our own stuff back then. There was no information back then, guys. Like, there were a handful of books, a handful of websites, and it was hard to find the websites. Nobody really knew what they were doing as far as like how to train. And I didn't read the stuff. I didn't get serious about reading it till a couple years in, and that's really to my downfall. I would drive all over the place to train with people, travel all over the countryside, but I hate reading. I honestly think I have some sort of a reading disorder, and I cannot read very well. So I can read, but it takes me forever, put it that way. So I'm deterred against reading books. So I didn't read a lot. If it was short, if it was on a message board, I could read it. digest it, memorize it, etc. But like to go through a book, man, it just brought back bad memories, I guess, of college and the pressure I put on myself. So I was not a good reader. So it kind of held me back. And you'll see, like, my progress back in the day was very slow. There also wasn't a lot of pressure. Like, it wasn't like everybody was training all this stuff, and there were so many people that were going for different things all at the same time, and you were trying to, like, push each other. It wasn't like that, dude. You were kind of, like, at your own pace. So it's kind of embarrassing to talk about now, but you know, my progress really accelerated later on, and you know, I'm here now. So I also want to say that, like, my memory is not infallible. Like, it really sucks. Some stuff I remember really well. I can tell you, like, where I was and not the date, but like the time of year, things like that. Other stuff, man, it's really cloudy. And there's one thing here that I'm actually confused on that I really can't remember that well. So I would probably have to look back at old interviews to see, like, when this one thing was. But enough of that. So as best I can tell, around 2001, we ended up with a #1 gripper. And then I knew that at first I didn't realize there was a set technique. So I was just like trying as hard as I could to close the gripper all the time with really bad form. And then eventually, on the way back from a workout in our car, I closed it, and my friend almost wrecked the car out of excitement because I closed it, and I was like holding it in his face while he was driving. It was pretty funny. So in 2002, I got, as far as I remember, I got a #2 for Christmas. That was the first 2 that we got. And then I closed that, you know, pretty soon after, but I have no idea when it was. In 2003, that's when I got to the level where I was closing the 3. And I can't remember if I knew the set by then or not. But either way, I knew the set. When I did know the set, I still had bad positioning. That's why I always say the set technique is so important, because there's angle and there's placement beyond just what you're doing with your body to get the gripper set. That's why I always say that, because I actually suffered from bad placement for years and didn't know it. So that's like the early on stuff. What were your goals back then? Dude, I just wanted to be able to tear deck cards and close the 3 and maybe do a couple other things. But as far as like 01, 02, I didn't really have a lot of goals. My other goals were based more around bodybuilding, powerlifting, and strongman. And I was actually, when I started grip, I was much better at strongman. I used to win contests all the time. You wouldn't know by looking at me today, but I was really good back in the day for that time. Like, I don't even know what strongman's like now. I probably would get, like, 2003, Napalm would probably get his ass kicked these days. But back in the day, 2003, 4, 5, 6 Napalm did pretty damn good against people who were most likely on steroids, had a lot more experience, had good crews to work with, stuff like that. All right, so what's next? Who got you into grip? So I mentioned that earlier. It was basically Rick Walker's posting online that really got me into this stuff. Really changed my life. Feats that took you the longest and quickest. All right, so let's talk about some feats. So I know that let's talk about some specific feats, okay? So I talk a lot about the blob, and I put up a lot of videos about the blob. I lifted the blob the first day I saw it. And as best I can tell, that was around July or August of 2003, because I think we met up and had lunch with Rick Walker before the contest took place. And I know, yes, it was before the contest took place, because after I picked up the blob and walked with it, he posted online saying that I was a contender for BFGS, which was in September of 2003. Some other feats, my pinch really didn't progress that fast at first. So even though I lifted the blob, I still struggled with things like 510s and 235s. However, I didn't know what I know about chalking now, and the plates that we had at that gym were very, very slick. So it took me a while to get them, but I estimate in the spring of 2004 is when I first lifted 235s and 510s. 235s is a major bridging feat to work up to 245s, and I'm fairly certain that in August of 2004, that's when I got 245s, and the reason that registers so clearly in my head is because I was in a hurry on the way up to the gym after work to lift, and I got a speeding ticket on the way up to the gym. Inch dumbbell. That is a bit curious to me because I have a hard time clearly remembering what the timeline was. So the first contest that I was in September of 2003, and that's the first time I saw and tried the Inch dumbbell. That was Rick Walker's Inch dumbbell. In the month of November, I bought the Inch. I do not remember if it was the November directly after that contest or if it was the November the following year. I just don't remember. I know that I made my own Inch dumbbell plate loadable handle, and I trained for that incessantly. I use that all the time, at least once a week, sometimes twice or even 3 times a week. Like I said, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just trying to put more weight on the bar all the time. The training most likely was not that effective. So it could have taken me from 2003 to 2005 to lift it, but I think I got the Inch from Rick in 2003. And I know that I got it in November. I know that I lifted it in January. So like, once I had the Inch, I could do specific drills with the Inch, and I progressed very quickly. My hands adapted to it, and I was able to lift it within 2 months. That's why I always encourage people to buy an Inch dumbbell if you want to lift one, because you can do specific drills with it, and it's just the best way to train specifically for that feat. So I think I lifted it in January 2004, but it might have been 2005. I'm not sure. I know it was at Diamond Gym in Horseheads, New York, but I just don't know what year it was. Feats that took you the longest and quickest and the most momentous one, the 245s in each hand, or was it another? So the 245s that you're talking about is the old school Yorks 245s. So I lifted that in I think 2013. I think that's the video that's on my channel. So if you go to my channel and the video starts playing, that's the first time I got the old school Yorks. So I think that's 2013. So in a way, I was training for that for 10 years or close to it, because I also think in 2004, that's when Dave Morton gave me that set of plates along with a free log that he made from scrap where he worked and a pair of farmer's walk handles that he made from scrap at the place he worked. Again, it might have been 2005. I'm just not sure, but I got those plates from Dave Morton. I got the double old school Yorks in 2016. Like I completed that feat in 2016. The second set of plates I got from Coach Doug Smith, who is a retired head strength coach from Juniata College, and we swapped him plates. So he was only using those plates to hold down these 2 angled boxes that he had his lifters kind of like stand on and jump back and forth on for balance and ankle stability and stuff like that. He was using these plates to hold these boxes down. So I asked him if he would trade me for them. He said yes. So I brought him a set of plates and I took those back with me. So those are the 2 old school Yorks that I have. I got both of them basically for free. At this day and age, I don't know how many hundreds of dollars you'd have to pay. To give you an idea of how my grip was in the beginning here, there's a section in my notes that I skipped over. So Battle for Grip Supremacy, September 2003, that was my first contest. I got like 6th or 7th place. It was probably 7th. And I think there were 13 competitors. So you say, well, why do you say your grip is that good if you finished in like right dead smack in the middle? Well, there were some monsters at that competition. Like, these dudes would do well in nationals today. So Steve McGranahan, I'm sure you know him as World's Strongest Redneck. He closed fours, one of the first to bend a red nail, 245s. Not sure if he ever lifted the Inch Dumbbell, but he came in first. Rob Vigent, that you might know as a world-class arm wrestler these days, he was also involved in grip back in the day, and he came in second. It was a very, very tight finish. Came down to the farmer's hold at the end, which absolutely killed me. So, you know, the way the contest worked, I didn't finish first in many events at all. I finished towards the top, but not first. So the way that it worked out with strongman scoring, because I did kind of poorly in that farmer's hold at the end of the contest, you know, I was kind of screwed up. I was also hurt at the time, so I had both tennis elbow and golfer's elbow in both arms. It was very, very tough for me to loosen my arms up, and I was lifting through pain that whole time. Again, had no idea what I was doing. There was no information. Some other guys, so Rob Vigent's uncle is also named Rob Vigent. He was there, he beat me. Dave Morton, one of those number 4 certified closers from like 04, he beat me. Tommy Heslop, great fetus. He did things like inch dumbbell lifts, as far as I remember. Maybe not, I don't know. Definitely 325s, 245s. And Dan Senadoza, who's a real good friend of mine, he also beat me. I think we might have tied on the bending, and then he beat me on the farmer's hold. He had a lot more experience in strongman, so, so he took me, and he took me on that, so he ended up taking a place ahead of me in the overall. But none of these guys ever beat me, as I recall, in a contest again. Some of them, you know, Tommy and Dave, or did they beat me? I don't know. I'll take that back. Some of these guys, yeah, Rob definitely beat me in Minnesota. So, like, just forget I said that. I don't want to take anything away from these guys. I don't think they could beat me now, though. Pretty sure about that. All right. Rest of the questions. What lifts are you going after in 2024? I wrote down half 145 Legacy, which I've been trying to get for like 4 years now. And inch clean and press, which has been like a lifetime goal. So I've cleaned the inch many times, never pressed it after a clean. I've pressed the inch many times, but I've never been able to clean it and then press it. And lately I can't even press it. I'm being a total pussy. Be totally honest with you. So those are the 2 feats I'm working on. It takes me a long time to reach these feats sometimes because I train so focused on grip sport, and I don't put long durations of time in on the feats. And it's something that I've wanted to change for a while, but I just can't. I love grip competitions so much that I really make them my primary focus, and I need to switch that around. So, like, I have been more selective about the contests that I've gone to. I had to miss heavy hands in September due to my hand injury hurting so bad, and I was getting this hip thing where if I drove more than 10 minutes, my right leg would like go numb on me. That's getting a lot better. The hand is really not responding very well. I'm going to miss the Yoel Bolson contest in January, most likely, because I have to be ready for nationals. That's all there is to it. And I can't take the risk of hurting myself and having another setback, because every time I train the Euro, my hand hurts for days. So I really changed my training up right now. It's more feet focused right now. But I got to be ready for nationals in April and North Americans in June. So I gotta be a little more selective. I know I hate to disappoint anybody, because the Yoel Bolson contest is put on by Chris Rice, and he ran Gripmas for years. I won it a bunch of times, came in second a bunch of times, and I've only missed a couple of them, but it's always been when I was hurt. So probably going to miss this one this time, and it sucks. But it's not an easy decision either. I'm just getting older. I'm not recovering like I want to. I've been dealing with this injury since January of 2020, and I'm just trying to get this thing past me. But those are the questions from DEC86D. Thanks for leaving the comment. If any of you have questions that you'd like to submit, make sure to get them in. I'm screenshotting all of them. I'm choosing the ones that I feel are like more well-rounded questions, things that will get more participation, really trying to get more comments here, try to grow the channel a little bit this month. Growing the channel is not a huge emphasis of mine. Some people said I should chase celebrities around and challenge them to lift the inch, things like that. I'm not going to do that, guys. It's just not worth my time. My channel is an extension of my online business. I try to increase awareness of grip sport through my channel. So, but I am trying to get to 15,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so. Give this video a like, share it around on social media, help me grow the channel that way. Really appreciate it, and all the best in your training. Thanks for watching.